Hey guys, new video here. Gonna go over Aki Bane. Bane got nerfed a little bit. Aki got nerfed quite a bit, but it's still an okay league starter. I played it to, let's see, I'm almost level 96. Just want to show you some gameplay and show that's still pretty darn good. And so this is a T16 Beach. I've been running these a lot. Let's just put some domination on because I'm running the goal. So as always, we start with some gameplay so you can see if you even like the build before watching the rest of the video to see the setup and if you think it will be fun for you. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to weapon swap at the beginning to get my rampage stacks, you see there, because I'm using an offhand that I'll talk about shortly. I have perma shaper stronghold here, so as you can see, you're going to see a lot of monsters spawning from these bubbles. It feels pretty good, right? A little bit lag on the servers right now, so I can't really go that fast. Oh, look at this. Acceleration shrine. Okay, so the goal has made me super fast. I'm gonna hit this monolith for you guys, and as you see here, I'm gonna clear 100% of monolith, even if there's a general. Where are they? Here we go. You see how big my Bane is? So I just got full coverage. So that's 100% of the mobs right there. I'm just gonna wait for them to spawn now, basically. And we're gonna, whoa, almost died by the way. Yo, Cinder Swallow saved me there. That was very spooky. So we're gonna pick up these items here. This is Mariketh. Ooh, Mariketh still does some damages here. Ooh, look at this. Alright, gotta pay attention. So this build focuses on huge AoE, like not as big AoE as you can get on like Cyclone and stuff now, but it's a Chow skill, it's a dot, which means it deals with proxy shields very well. It can run any map mod, which is very good at the beginning of a league because you don't ever have to re-roll a map. You just kind of go. Everything's pretty easy, everything dies. Doesn't have the burst damage of a lot of the hit crit builds, but as you can see, it gets the job done, you know? You're moving pretty fast, you're killing all the dudes here. Once again, the gold drops the shrines, which you'll pick up, and these bubbles, because I'm doing perma shaper stronghold, there's a bunch of monsters here. So let's go and do that. Did I miss anything? And the buffs last so long because because I have the gold. So here's like, that's not a very good shrine for the gold, but something. See, big shrine that actually makes me bigger, gives me more life. Okay. Ooh, resist. So this shrine, if you get it with the gold, you get 90 max res, which means you're basically immune to any kind of explosions, lightning mirages, bears, you know, detonations, things like that. Right, very, very strong. And so this is a breach. Oh, sustaining. I'm sustaining. And I really like this build. It's very fun. A lot of people ask why not ED Contagion, and I mean it's very good. I just didn't like 2 casts. I'm still casting twice sometimes because I'm using Soul Rend as single target, and I'll try to keep this video very short. I'll keep like the most stuff in the POB down below so that you can just like look at the POB and see what I'm using, but I'll go over some like key items here. So 50 monsters remaining. Oh, there's also, dude, there's like so many there's so many map items here, as you can see. Everyone wants to buy my Elder Beach right now for 24C. Grab all these, and that is it, I think. Well, maybe I didn't do the Abyss here. I'm going to show the Abyss. Obscured, nice. Where's it going? Is it done? See, and also you can see the shrines on the map, which is really nice. And this Abyss is almost done. So basically your AoE covers everything. The Bane, what it does is it applies to Despair, and I have a temp chains on a Blasphemy to kind of slow everything around me, and it doesn't need to get hit by the Bane itself. Okay. Yeah, this is taking a long time. Okay, I think that's done. And the Abyssal Trove. I just ended my stream after almost 10 hours, so I'm a little bit tired, but I'll try to go through this as fast as I can. So that was the build on T16. This league, I think it's still pretty good after the nerfs. I think it'll still be good next league, even if it gets nerfed again in terms of damage. So let's go over the main stuff. So here is the skill tree I go Aki. Profane Bloom is for explosions and clear. +1 curse here, increase effective curses, very strong for damage and defenses. And of course, Malediction is a more multiplier to damage. Now, Forbidden Power I take just because I really like the +2 AoE that this gives me. Foul Bastion, so I can't get stunned. I could take this, but you don't need the damage, and as you saw from the last map, most monsters are not nearby, okay? If you take this, you'll see a very vibrant purple swirly around the monster. That'll let you know that it's in the range, and the range is very small, so I didn't take this. But you could take this and this instead of Forbidden Power and Foul Bastion. I'll say Forbidden Power is more swappable into Void Beacon than Foul Bastion, because protection from stun and stuff like that is not bad. I mean, and 10% ES if you choose to take Eldritch Battery later to use your mana on Eldritch Battery is totally fine as well. Very basic skill tree here. Spell damage does apply to the Bane damage, the dot damage. Area damage does not. So for example, this is just for AoE, it's not for the area damage, and same with this. This is for the AoE radius, it's not for the area damage. Life-based tree, grabbing all of like the efficient life nodes. Next point will probably be here for 96. Grabbing some damage here, flash effectiveness. For the jewels, go for a life and then a non-ailment challenge damage over time multiplier. They all add together and multiply your damage. Very nice. I think of like the total of this as another support gem of that value. So those are the gems there. Right here, I go Conqueror's Potency because I like the extra little bit that it gives me. But you can also go, if you have no way to gain your Frenzy and power charges, like let's say you didn't take Forbidden Power and you don't use Poacher's Mark and the Vixens, you can actually take Overcharge to get all your charges, and then you'll take Melding with an Intuitive Leap. Try to get Corrupting Blood if you don't have the Male Violence Watcher's Eye. You could go up here for Curse Effect and additional curse if you need it, but there's so many items that give curses that I don't think it's actually necessary. And so everything else is kind of like AoE here, AoE here, AoE here, AoE, a little bit of AoE right here, and this power charge is for a little bit of AoE as well, and then just damages and life and damage over time. Watcher's Eye, I'll recommend probably a Unaffected by Bleeding, because that works with Corrupting Blood and regular bleeds, and then of course the damage node is very nice. Although if you can't get the damage node, the recovery one is also not too shabby. Obviously the big damage up here, this is probably what you rush to if you're leveling, because it gives such a massive amount of AoE. The way we get most of our AoE is there's this, but there's also Wind Shriek Boots. So Wind Shriek Boots is 60%. You can also use an amulet if you don't want to use Solstice Virgil. You can use a Star of Ray Clouds, which is 60% curse AoE, pretty huge, 3-4 radius depending on what you have already. As for the rest of the gear, I'm using like resist rings. That's basically it. Just cap your resist, get some life. Cap your resist, get some life. Chest Carcass Jack, 50% AoE. The area damage doesn't do anything, so just focus on life and resist there. The helm, the goal, we went over that. It makes your shrines absolutely ridiculous. So the life is great, the resist is great. I mean, a little bit of ES on there, and the buffs of shrine effects make you like an absolute god if you run domination, if you don't want to run beyond, and it drops shrines on the ground, even if you don't have any big shrines in the map. The bow is a multi-modded bow. You want to get a +1, and then you'll multiply everything else. I annulled this multi-mod and exalted this on stream. It's pretty fun times. And bow, I guess technically is better. It just doesn't look as good in MTX. Bow is great because you get a quiver, which is additional life, stats, AoE. That 15% AoE is actually 1 radius, and that's really nice, right? So just get like an Elder one for the radius, and then life and whatever resist that you need. As for the gloves, Vixens, how this works is that in the chest, in the bow, my Bane applies Despair, okay? And it's like efficacy, empower, swift affliction, and controlled. That's what I like the best. You can also swap this for void manipulation if you want a little bit extra duration, but it's a little bit less damage, right? And so the Bane applies the Despair, but whenever you cast the Bane, whatever curses are in here, for me, it's Enfeeble and Poacher's Mark, because Poacher's Mark gives me frenzies and it makes me a Pathfinder. I'll never run out of flash charges. That will be cast on the cursor. So as you see that orange circle, right, that actually is the Poacher's Mark, and that is basically exactly where my Bane is targeting, okay? And so that's really nice. As for the gloves, also there's cast speed. You can apply additional curse. So you start with 1 curse, you get 2 curses here, you could get 3 curses here, but you don't really need this because Wind Shriek gives you additional curse, so that's 3 curses, right? So you have 4 curses now, right? 1, 2, 3, and then a natural, and that's 4. Okay, if you take this, it's 5. You can put more in here. It gets pretty crazy, and you don't really need that many curses though. Let's be honest, things are gonna die. I would say the main curses though, obviously Despair, Tempt Chains, Enfeeble, and then whatever else you want after those 3. Belt, I have a Headhunter, but it's a dot build. It doesn't really gain that much from Headhunter. You get to run around faster, but your damage, you will not see a massive increase in damage because this build doesn't hit and it doesn't have crit. And so Headhunter is not the best option, but I like moving a little bit faster. Solstice Virgil makes your flasks run longer, and because with these you're not that fast, right, with these boots, so it makes your fast last a little longer. Any buffs you steal will also last a little bit longer, and then that's actually about it. The flask, I mean, you get a speedy flask, you get a citrus wall because it's recovery when you kill monsters. You can't leech with dots, and this is very fast, almost like Whale Pact. Alchemist's Basalt of Warding is very nice because this is reduced physical damage. There's a lot of physical damage in the game right now. And when you're dotting, you're not stunning. So monsters have a chance of attacking you back. Very defensive. The Dying Sun is for AoE. This adds, I believe, 2 radius. And it also allows me to, maybe it'll save you some resists and projectiles for Essence Drain and Soul Rend for a little bit extra juice. The Sulfur Flask is just for damages, and I solved my heat with the Sulfur Flask here, and the damage isn't actually too shabby. So actually I'm going to show you what I mean with the Dying Sun. See, this is regular, 1 projectile. Hit Dying Sun, and now I have 3 projectiles, more coverage, right? Dying Sun is like 30 C now. It's completely ridiculous what the prices are of this league. Other than that, the weapon swap for Rampage, because Rampage is very powerful, I have a Sinvictus Medal. So what I'll do in a map is I'll start with this one. I will pop my Dying Sun probably in every other flask, and then I'll spam my Soul Rend. And you need the Soul Rend to kill 1 enemy at least. And then you have it, and then you hit your hockey, you swap back, and then you use Bane. And you'll have Rampage for as long as the timer lasts. If you lose it, just swap back, kill a monster, and you'll be fine, right? And this setup is kind of like, it's kind of cool because there's no auras in your weapon. There's only the main damaging. So when you swap, you won't lose auras. And when you swap back, or when you swap here, you lose the, you might lose some resist, but once again, you have Dying Sun, so it might cover that. Other than that, that's basically it. I'm gonna leave the like the links and stuff don't matter too much. I don't think there's anything special in here. I use Flesh and Stone because it makes enemies nearby blinded, so they have half the chance to hit you. They'll miss pretty much half the time. Enemies far away, their projectiles will do less damage to you, so very defensive there. You pair that with like a Lunaris Pantheon, very strong. Steel Skin's amazing. Basically takes up like up to 70% of hits up to that amount that you saw there in the icon. So it'll save you against bears. It'll save you against mortars. It'll save you against volatile. Any hit. It doesn't protect against dots, unfortunately. And so that's a very nice defense set. You can also go in Mortal Claw if you want, cast some damage taken, but I chose to do this. Mandatory auras, I believe, are just male violence. That's it. It's a more multiplier. You can go Arctic Armor, you can go Flesh and Stone, you can go whatever you really want. Once again, the build doesn't hit, so you can't really go like, it doesn't cause like any like special ailments really, so you can't really go like any heralds or anything like that. As for this, Flame Dash is the movement skill of choice. In here I have the Potions Marking the Feeble, like I talked about before, and then the Grace. Whale Grace is huge amounts of dodge chance, especially when you have like aura effectiveness and maybe linking it to some things. You can get like a 30 plus, close to 40% dodge chance. And then if you really want to, I guess you could go down to Acro, right? If you go Acro, then you're like, when Whale Grace is up, you have like 70 something percent dodge chance. It's absolutely crazy, but that requires you to drop some damage in life to go down there probably. Other than that, like I said, look in the POB for all the other skill gems. I don't think the rest of them are really that important. Blasphemy Temp Chains, because it's free with Solstice, even if you link it. So any monsters around me that aren't even touched by my Bane get slowed. That's the build. I hope you guys enjoy the build. You might as well just play Essence Drain Contagion, but if you watch this is more of a video for people that watch my stream. If you want to check it out, it's very good. I like it better because it allows you to cast one button. The Bane, it's got huge AoE, bigger than Contagion, and it's got the 1 button playstyle, which a lot of people will enjoy. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, bye. And I stream every day on Twitch. You can watch me there. Okay, bye. I love you guys. Bye.